We are here for an impromptu, secret, sudden stream. Don't tell anybody. This is the Snipe and the Codeman, episode 3, and we are going to talk about... What are we talking about, Cody?
We are talking about negativity overload. Just the over-negativity from everything. Just either from the fans, the creators, or maybe even both. Just, you look everywhere and you see kind of over-negativity on everything. You see, like, over-negativity about movies, TV, video games, pro wrestling even. I mean, there's probably negativity and stuff that I'm not even interested in, but those are the main ones that comes to mind to me.
Well, honestly, I've noticed. I mean, you hear a fair share of hate and just kind of negative bashing on various things, but it seems to have gotten a lot more noticeable ever since the basically the turn of the millennium and the introduction of social media apps. You know, your Facebooks, MySpace, Twitter, Instagram. Where people kind of feel the need to voice their opinion. Tumblr especially, yes.
Tumblr, Reddit. There's probably ones we don't even know of yet.
There's so many different ones. I think at one point there was one called Zanga.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's been so many negative output for a lot of things. It's like for every positive compliment, you get about 5 or 10 negative ones, and that's just for standard things. Now, things that actually deserve remote negativity just gets lambasted with it. But yeah, even things that are actually remotely good, you have few people here and there just kind of feel the need to shit all over it.
Yeah. Because it just seems like the cool thing to do is just be overly negative or hostile towards certain things, and we're going to get to those later. But like you said, it's just become more noticeable in the past millennium, probably since social media and the internet really took off. I mean, it's probably started with message boards and everything. I remember when you did your pissed off videos and then your other rants, and it was based off of a joke I made when we were watching. It's like, I'm mad about something, so what am I going to do about it? I'm going to bitch about it on the internet.
Yep. Well, I mean,
I made it a joke of like, what I knew there was like a T-shirt at Hot Topic for a while that was called "If Cena wins, we'll complain on the internet."
Yeah, I remember seeing that one. Well, I mean, people honestly feel like they have a voice and it needs to be heard, regardless on if it's, something that actually deserves to be heard or not.
Right. I mean, I'm not saying nobody does not have the right to say what they want. It's just some of it's just eye rolling and overkill at times.
Yeah, tell me about it.
And just absolutely, I hate to use, what's the current term? Cringy?
Cringy. It is mass cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and what I want to kind of talk about is like TV shows, the first thing that comes to mind to me was when existence. Now, full disclosure, I saw bits and pieces of the original. It was a decent little show, but then when you said Teen Titans Go's coming back, it's like, oh, they're going to get the original show back. And it turns out to be a comedy series with a different art style.
Hello? You're breaking up on me, dude. I can't hear you. Okay, well, to fill the gap, while I'm trying to get him back on, if possible, what he's referring to, I don't know if anyone was able to catch that, but he's talking about Teen Titans versus Teen Titans Go. Now, Teen Titans was a very well beloved series in, like, I think it was 2004. 2004 to 2006 or 7, maybe 2008. It lasted 4 seasons and then it died. And, like, it didn't even actually end. What happened is that instead of it just ending and actually closing the chapter of it, it just got canceled. And there was still a demand for it. Cartoon Network saw this demand, and what happened was, and this is something I really didn't understand, is Cartoon Network decided to basically reboot the show as a more kiddie, chibi style comedy show that was very variety, kind of like your Looney Tunes, your Tom and Jerry, where it's very episodic. There's no like flowing story, and it was a show that you just don't really take seriously. It wasn't meant for that. And it does have its fan base, and honestly, I've watched some of it, and it's not as bad as people say it is. In fact, there's some episodes that are actually pretty good. But the problem is, it's not what the initial fans of the series wanted, and a lot of people shat on it. And there was a huge, huge wave of criticism flung at it. But, I mean, overall, to my knowledge, I would think it's doing okay enough for it to be getting season after season. It even had a movie. And if I can get the codeman back on here, I'll kind of relay what I was saying. But it's really not as bad as a lot of people claim it to be. Now, it's no Teen Titans. That honestly is... Teen Titans was like a next-gen Batman the Animated Series, and it's like imagine taking Batman the Animated Series and, making a cartoon version of the 60s Batman. Some people are not going to like it just because it's a complete departure from what they're used to seeing. And that, unfortunately, that's just the thing of it. Does that make it better or worse? I don't think it makes it worse, but see, he says he's calling me. But does he come back? Hello? Are you back? Let's check and see if he's back. We're jacking into the frequency here. We're getting the codec signals synced up. Maybe I should save my game first. It could be a very dangerous battle ahead. I don't know. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh. What the fuck? This is driving me crazy. I'm hoping that he can come in soon. But, yeah, in terms of the whole Teen Titans thing, that's... I know that was part of what he was going to. And I know, specifically, the Codeman is a fan of it. I believe his little brother is also a fan as well. But, it honestly, it's not, as I said before, and I'll say again, it's not as bad as people make it out to be. but I don't think we can get him in. But this is just a little test. I think we're going to have to try to do this again. Continue to where we left off. Maybe do an episode 3 part 2. As ridiculous as that sounds. But let me know your thoughts, fellow fence sitters. Those that can't stay on one side or the other. Let me know what you're thinking. Like I said, my take, not that bad. It's not necessarily my cup of tea, but I can watch a few episodes and somewhat be entertained by it. Now, as I said before, I prefer the original, hands down. It's a lot better, in my opinion, but I'm not going to shit on it for what it is either. But before I leave you off today, and before I try this again tomorrow, topics we're going to talk about for unnecessary negativity and hatred and just like shit talking and bashing. We're going to talk about Nintendo as a company, video games in general, old versus new. We might even talk about other topics such as, honestly, I think let's flip it on the other side. Something that I had no interest in. Something like the new Fantastic Four movie or the new Ghostbusters movie. Maybe we can turn the coin on the other side and maybe hear some reasonable suggestions on why, we should give new media a chance, even though they're just taking what is already existing and just trying to freshen it up because they think they can do it better. I don't know. But I will end it here. It's already 11:30 back where I'm at, so hope you guys enjoyed what little we had, and I will hopefully, if I can get this rig together, I will hopefully see you guys sometime later. Till next time, folks, this is Snipe, and the Codeman is in spirit. So, peace.